What's going on, everybody? Crypto Headquarters here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the cryptocurrency known as Verge. Specifically, we're going to be discussing the talks within the community that Verge could be potentially a scam in some way, shape, or form. But before I begin the video, I do want to jump into the disclaimer that says none of the information in today's video is investment or financial advice. It's just simply my personal opinion. Please do your own research before investing. Invest at your own risk. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and consult a financial advisor if necessary. As for transparency purposes, I do not hold and am not invested into Verge at the time of making this video. But without further ado, let's jump into it. As we know, Verge has been one of the best performing cryptocurrencies moving into the month of April. And this has been surprising news, especially since most cryptocurrencies are in the red and struggling to gain traction amidst this very bearish market overtone that cryptocurrency has been suffering for the past few months. Earlier on my channel, I covered why Verge is doing so well price-wise and how Verge was able to jump into that top 20 spot in terms of cryptocurrencies and overall market cap worldwide. Check out that video if you're more interested, but to sum it all up, the reason Verge has been doing so well price-wise is due to two reasons, both of them being news. The first reason is due to the fact that Verge held a successful crowdfund in which they were able to raise over 75 million Verge. The reason that they needed this crowdfund is due to the fact that Verge is open source and completely community-led. What this means is that, like most other cryptocurrency and blockchain projects that are backed by companies and organizations as well as foundations, Verge does not have that due to the nature of how it's led. With that, Verge also did not have an ICO or was pre-mined before the release of the Verge project. So with all of that said, you can see that there was a lack of adequate funding needed to move the Verge blockchain project forward. So they announced that they were having a crowdfund and were taking donations and raised over 75 million Verge in order to pay the developers of Verge that were previously unpaid, as well as they could put that money towards other things such as adoption and marketing efforts that were before used actually out of the pockets of the developers' day jobs. So obviously there was a need for funding for the Verge project. But the big news that has sparked interest within the cryptocurrency community and contributed to the overall price of Verge is the news that Verge has announced that they are going to be partnering with an absolutely huge company, their words not mine, on April 17th of 2018. They have yet to announce which company that they're going to partner with, but this has not led to a lack of hype over on their Twitter account, where the developers of Verge have announced that this project is going to change the world, it's going to reach mainstream media, and this has led to a lot of interest within Verge. A lot of traders have bought the rumor and are planning to sell the news, as well as a lot of people are just hyped up in general for the fact that if this project is to be everything that they hype it up to be, how it could potentially change blockchain, as well as how it could benefit the Verge cryptocurrency. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the fact that many people within the cryptocurrency community have had a lot of different opinions on Verge. Additionally, in today's video specifically, I'm going to be talking about the scam that many people think Verge is. In my opinion, I'm still kind of mixed about Verge. Obviously, Verge has a lot of things going for it in terms of its project, and I think that in a lot of ways, Verge has managed to reach its market cap due to the fact that it has a bustling community behind it, as well as the fact that they have some interesting things going for it, especially with its Wraith protocol. But at the same time, there are a lot of red flags that I'm going to outline in today's video that have me on the side that Verge could potentially be a scam. So I'm just going to relay the news to you guys. Again, I'm still mixed on Verge. I would be completely honest with you guys in saying that I really don't know what to think about this cryptocurrency at this point in time. I'm really not trying to tiptoe around the issue here, guys. I want to give you guys my honest opinions on this channel, and right now, despite the fact that there are cases for and against Verge, I still am kind of mixed and am leaning slightly in the direction that Verge could be potentially a scam. With that said, I don't hold any Verge in my portfolio at the time of making this video, as I obviously would never invest into a project that I'm leaning towards thinking it could potentially be a scam. But with all that said, we're going to be talking about all the red flags and things that people have brought up within the community right here, right now, as well as comment down below what you guys' opinions are on Verge. I want to keep all discussions open on my channel in the future here, no matter what your thoughts are, positive, negative, what you think about Verge. I just want to hear them all in the comment section down below. Is this a place for discussion and not a place for anybody to put anybody else down based on their opinions? We're just here to talk about cryptocurrency. So with all that said, I've rambled enough. Let's talk about the case for Verge being a scam. The main place that we're going to be talking about Verge today is over on the r/cryptocurrency subreddit, where a user by the username of Harucifer posted 18 hours as of recording this video, his thoughts and opinions and why he believes Verge is a scam. I'm going to be using his initial post today because I believe it adequately points out all of the red flags that we know thus far about Verge. So without further ado, let's begin talking about the origins of Verge and why it could be a scam. He mentions that he remembers the hype starting when John McAfee, the celeb who gets paid for his tweets, tweeted about Verge, and it's been a shit show ever since. Back in November and December, McAfee tweets about Verge, probably got his $105,000 for that. Hype starts building up. What he means by this is that McAfee recently disclosed the fact that per tweet, he charges $105,000 to hype up a cryptocurrency or an ICO project on his Twitter account. If you guys aren't familiar with John McAfee, basically what he does is he has a lot of influence within the cryptocurrency space, and when he tweets about a cryptocurrency, the price of a cryptocurrency increases due to the hype that builds up when he tweets about it. People begin to buy in. At this point in time, people know when McAfee tweets about something, it's going to get hyped up. So if you have people that buy in just for the sake that they plan to sell on the top, but nonetheless, you get the idea. The hype starts building up. The price starts increasing on nothing other than the fact that McAfee tweeted about it. It reaches a point where people begin to sell off, leaving a lot of bag holders tumbling, holding all the way to the bottom, while a few people make a profit on the top. So that's how a lot of people remember Verge getting its start. John McAfee tweeting about it. Additionally, he points out that Verge had a Wraith protocol update coming up on a set date. Dev didn't keep true to his word and postponed it. When it finally came out, it wasn't anything impressive. So in my opinion, this is one of the weakest points that he makes in this post. He mentions that the Wraith protocol update had a set date and the dev didn't keep true to his word and postponed it. You know, obviously I talk about all the time on my channel how important it is for a cryptocurrency project to hit its roadmap, and obviously that sucks. That does raise kind of a bit of concern for anybody who looked into Verge at that time. However, as far as I'm concerned, the Wraith protocol does its job. If you guys don't know what the Wraith protocol is, short and sweet, basically it allows for your transaction to be public or private on the Verge blockchain. You can switch between the two. So while Verge is known as a privacy coin, you are able to choose how your transaction is viewed, publicly or privately, and the Wraith protocol allows you to do that. Obviously that was very simplified, but that's the best way that I can allow you guys to understand it. He mentions that when it finally came out, it wasn't anything impressive. Obviously that's highly opinionated, and as far as I'm concerned, it does its job. So obviously the dev didn't hit its date, but you know, that's the least of Verge's concerns at this point in time. So the dev then made a post asking about paying taxes related to cryptos and Coinbase. A few hours later, after the said post, he started to give Verge to our pool so we can reveal big news on day XXYY. So obviously this is a bit suspicious due to the fact that he was talking about taxes, and then he wants to hype up Verge and give it to their pool so they can reveal some big news on said date. Right now, that date is April 17th, so we're going to see if this partnership actually leads to the hype that they've been hyping it up to be. So they didn't get enough money. Some company matched the donation value, so he would reveal it anyway. This is in reference to the crowdfund that I mentioned before was successful. However, what I neglected to mention before was the fact that though they did raise the 75 million Verge, a company came in and matched the donation so that he would reveal it anyway. So basically a company came in and said, hey, you didn't reach the donation, but we want to hear about this news. We'll match it. We'll donate. Reveal the news. They didn't reveal it. They postponed it to April 16th. 2 days later, their blockchain was hacked. So not only did this company come in and say, hey, we'll donate, they then said, you know, screw to that company. We're going to postpone it a few weeks out in order to build more hype up for this coin, leading to a lot more skepticism and suspicion about this cryptocurrency within the community. Then 2 days later, their blockchain was hacked, the most recent news here, and then the dev pushed a fix and said everything was fine. It wasn't. The hacker still mined free XVG. Now a dev pushed another fix in quotations. It was a hard fork. He didn't know it was a hard fork. Let me repeat that. The dev didn't know he pushed a hard fork. That is elementary stuff relatively for a developer of a cryptocurrency project that has a market cap of just under $1 billion. That is a bit ridiculous if you're asking me. Despite all this, XVG is riding a pretty substantial rocket in value, gaining crazy percentages in a consolidated bear market. This honestly just feels like BitConnect. Dumb money flows in, colorblind to all the red flags that keep popping up, and probably thinking they're gray or green. I'm at a loss for words. If anyone knows an exchange that allows me a short Verge, please PM it to me. I'll love some free money when this shit booms. So now I'm going to begin talking about Verge and this whole hard fork issue that has recently arose. Verge's problems don't stop on that last Reddit post. Over on news.bitcoin.com, I'm going to be talking about Verge, the fact that it's about to undergo a hard fork, and the 51% attack it's suffering. So if you guys don't know what a 51% attack is, let me explain. A malevolent miner gained majority control of the Verge network hash rate, a feat that makes it possible for controlling the entity to modify transactions, calling the integrity of the entire blockchain into question. Around 250,000 Verge were stolen by the attacker, forcing the project team to prepare a hard fork. This all began on Wednesday, April 4th, when OC Miner, a regular poster on the Bitcoin Talk forum, announced that Verge was experiencing a 51% attack. A bug in the altcoin's code enabled the attacker to spoof timestamps and cause each new block to be produced using the same algorithm. Usually a different algorithm must be used for each block to prevent any single miner or pool of miners from controlling the XVG hash rate. The Verge community aren't known for their tolerance of negative stories, and soon they piled into the Bitcoin Talk thread to dismiss the fake news and FUD. So, not only was Verge undergoing a 51% attack by this hacker, or the attacker, at least then began to taunt the Verge development team, stating, "Hey Verge team, get some real developers and fix your code. We have found another 2 exploits which can make quick hashes as well." To compound the misery, at least one Verge holder was then fooled by a Twitter scam outlined and explained below. So not only does the development of Verge have one hole in it that has led to this 51% attack that was able to be exploited by this attacker, but that same attacker literally came and taunted the developers, saying that there's not only 1, but 2 exploits that can make quick hashes as well and could cause the entire Verge blockchain to undergo a similar situation here, which is not good at all. So what is going on with the Verge development team? Who is developing this cryptocurrency and blockchain project that they have so many holes within their code that can be exploited to the likes that they are being now? So while it's often theorized, 51% attacks are extremely rare. To control the majority of Bitcoin's hash rate, an example they use, an attacker would require over 14 exahashes of power, which would be all but impossible. Altcoins have a much lower hash rate, but even so, it's still unusual and rare to witness such an attack in the wild. Interestingly, another proof-of-work coin, Electronium, is believed to have succumbed to another 51% attack just 3 days ago, and it's believed the same person behind the Verge attack is also behind Electronium. So that's interesting to note as well. So what's the problem with this? Well, in typical fashion, the Verge team tried to play down the severity of the attack, tweeting, "We had a small hash attack that lasted about 3 hours earlier this morning. It's been cleared up now. We will be implementing even more redundancy checks for things of this nature in the future." Sounding very optimistic here, like it wasn't a big deal at all. On the Bitcoin Talk forum, the damage control exercise was cranked higher even still. As we mentioned before, the Verge community behind Verge doesn't like to hear a lot of FUD, doesn't like to hear a lot of negative stories, hence the reason I'm expecting a lot of dislikes on this video. So again, the damage control on Bitcoin Talk was basically with a Verge team member disingenuously writing, "We're kind of glad this happened, and that it wasn't as bad as it could have been." Verge also tried to shut down discussion of the miner incident in its Telegram channel. The reality was nothing of the sort. All Verge wallets are out of sync, as the blockchain snapshot is still stuck at this block, and a hard fork is imminent. Verge claims that around 250,000 XVG were stolen by the rogue miner, but dissenters have claimed that as many as 3.9 million coins may have been taken. So it sounds like Verge was trying to do a lot of damage control here, their team as well as their community, suppressing talk of it in their Telegram channel, as well as going over to the Bitcoin Talk forum and trying to say how this was a small deal, this shouldn't be a big issue at all, when it is a pretty big deal whenever your blockchain is exploited like that, and you have to undergo a hard fork, and the fact that between 250,000 and 3.9 million coins may have been stolen. So one forum member wrote, "Based on what I see, the devs posting here is it's apparent that if OC Miner, the person that originally reported on Bitcoin Talk forum, had never brought this to everyone's attention, the XVG team would have never admitted to or disclosed what happened. Trying to downplay and being flippant about the severity here is just pissing on the XVG faithful." A Verge developer tried to shrug off the magnitude of the attack, protesting how much Ethereum has been stolen this year. This is insignificant in contrast. So again, they're just trying to downplay this as much. I think it's an interesting point to bring up, the fact that if this was never brought up, due to the fact that they're making this such a small incident when everybody, or at least a lot of people, know about it, and the fact that they're undergoing a hard fork, what would this have been like if somebody would have never posted about it in the first place? likely we would have probably never heard about it based on the actions that have taken place thus far. So XVG is down 60% in the last 24 hours. Wednesday's attack only tempered by anticipation of a big announcement on April 16th that has caused Verge to double in its price in the past week. In 2018 alone, Verge has shrugged off privacy leaks, its Twitter being hacked, developer docs, the embarrassment of having to beg its community for $3 million, and now a 51% attack. The rest of the cryptocurrency world may be laughing, but XVG's true believers remain unfazed. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I have very mixed opinions on Verge, and I'm very much leaning towards the way. I know I said slightly, but even after I record this video, I am leaning in the way that Verge probably is a scam on some level. However, this is not to say that it could potentially be a legitimate blockchain project with just a lot of issues. Now, at the same time, I know there are going to be probably a lot of dislikes on this video from the Verge community because I know you guys are dedicated fans of Verge and you guys don't like this negative news, no matter how legitimate or how unlegitimate it may be. Obviously, I try to do my best when bringing you guys these videos, and I think that I pretty much outlined a lot of the ways that the community is feeling about Verge, and if not, let me know again down in the comment section. I want to discuss with you guys what your guys' thoughts are. You guys can discuss whatever it may be, just keep it polite, and thanks for that. I will say that as I record this video, I just think that there are a lot of things going against Verge. I'm not a big fan of the developers and how they try to suppress issues like this. I'm not a big fan of how insecure the actual network is. I'm not a big fan of really anything that the Verge team has done. However, I do remain hopeful in this project. I know in the Reddit post he mentioned that it feels just like BitConnect. At the same time, BitConnect was its own situation in and of itself. Obviously, Verge is its own animal entirely. However, it does give similar vibes to a lot of people. I'm not coming out and saying this is BitConnect by any way, shape, or form, but I would recommend to you guys, this is not investment or financial advice in any way, shape, or form, that you guys exercise some caution with Verge. Really do your own research. Take into consideration everything I've said in this video. Watch other videos, whether they be against or for Verge. Just make sure to do your guys' own research. Verge is definitely an interesting cryptocurrency nonetheless. However, my thoughts are definitely leaning towards the way that this is not a cryptocurrency or project that I would personally put any money into in any way, shape, or form, at least at this moment in time. So obviously Verge has got some interesting news on the way here, but I would be, again, very cautious with this. I would do your own research, a lot of it here, as Verge, though it is the 20th ranked cryptocurrency in the world and has a market cap of just under $1 billion. Keep in mind, this was Dogecoin dark at one point in time. Whatever that means to you guys, I think that's kind of funny. But nonetheless, Verge is definitely interesting. So take this information how you guys will. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I know I've covered Verge in the past, and I think I am going to continue just due to the fact that there's never a lack of news around Verge. I know you guys are interested in this just due to the fact that the last Verge video got a lot of interactions and you guys like seeing that news. So that's going to do it for the video. I'm going to jump to the outro of today's video, and thanks for watching. That's going to do it for the video today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm going to immediately jump into the disclaimer here that says none of the information in today's video is investment or financial advice. This is just simply my personal opinion. Please do your own research before investing. Invest at your own risk. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Consult a financial advisor if necessary. Please understand all of the information in today's video is only intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is only my personal opinion, and I'm a huge advocate of doing your own research, so make sure to get multiple perspectives before you guys make any decisions. And this is, again, one last time, not investment or financial advice. For transparency purposes, as if it's not outlined clearly enough, I am not invested in Verge, and I don't hold Verge in my portfolio at the time of making this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have been great. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and have a great day.